and welcome back to Story Arcs Podcast. Today we're going to do something a little bit different, but actually something that I think we're going to have as a kind of a continuing series here, and that is Guess the Marvel Legends. So, if you're not familiar with Marvel Legends, they are these super articulated toys from Hasbro, kind of designed with both the adult collector and kids in mind. Pretty entry level price point. I have a pretty substantial collection now, as you can see behind me at different times throughout different episodes. And Gavin here, as the member of the podcast with the less comic knowledge, is going to guess what Marvel Legend I surprise him with, and we're gonna give him a score, and we're gonna give him a score for each round, each set of five. So we're gonna start with five per episode right now. We may do some tweaks on the format in the future, but this is gonna be our basic format here on the screen. So we have first we're gonna have Marvel Legend. I'll keep on the screen. We'll have a background with the kind of promo shots of each legend, and then I am going to show Gavin, if I have it, I'll show Gavin the in-hand version, and we'll go through these five questions. So, is this character from the main continuity or not? Are they a hero or a villain? Who are they affiliated with? Code name, real name. So, first up, we're gonna go with this guy, and Gavin, I'm not gonna give you the uh, answers here, but this one is meant to be kind of the entry point, so we can give fans an example of what we're doing with this setup. So, first question: is this guy main continuity or not?
Yeah, main continuity yeah.
Correct. So that's going to be 1 point for Gavin. So we're at 1 out of 1. This is from the 616. Main continuity is going to be just 616. So that means if they are one of the movie versions of Marvel Legends, if they're from the Gamerverse, or if they're an alternate universe like Age of Apocalypse, um, or one of the Spider Verse guys, then they are not going to qualify as main continuity. So it'd be a pretty easy question. Uh, Second question: hero or villain? Pretty straightforward. We're gonna go with the most common affiliation, and we may have some arguing points at some point. But hero or villain, Gavin?
Going with hero.
Hero, right? So 2 out of 2. And question three is gonna be affiliation. So if you follow Marvel Legends, if you follow Marvel in general, you know that there's generally a few different categories that characters come from, based mostly on kind of their main comics, their main group of comics, and those usually are, in my opinion, Avengers. You see a lot of Avengers waves of Marvel Legends. X Men waves, Marvel Legends are very common. Cosmic. Cosmic waves aren't as common, but when you have characters like the Guardians of the Galaxy and all the different cosmic guys, you kind of need another thing because they don't often cross over in comic continuity with the Avengers or the X Men enough to necessarily be one or the other. And some of those characters that do cross over, I think we would accept the answer of either one. So if we have a character that's significantly in more than one, I will take an answer of Gavin from anyone. And then we have the Spider Verse characters. So Spider-Man, his extensive rogues gallery, all the different spiders that come from the Spider Verse comics and the different connections and anything that has anything to do with Spider-Man. And then the other one that sometimes will come up would be Fantastic Four, and this is one that I think there's a lot of characters that cross over into Cosmic from Fantastic Four, and there's also a lot of characters that cross over into Avengers. So there's villains that are both. But I originally did not think of them, if I'm honest. So I'm adding them in this time as an option here. Um, so affiliation wise, where would you place this gentleman here?
He's going in the Marvel Avengers. Yeah, Avengers category, right?
Avengers category, yes. So we are 4 out of 4. Uh, Question number 4, code name, pretty straightforward. What is their superhero code name?
This
Go.
would be the Incredible Hulk. I'm going with.
All right, and of course we would accept Hulk I'm not going to get into it. There are some characters that have slightly different code names depending on their outfit or that sort of thing. So I think for me, if you're within range there, we'll probably
Hmm.
give you the points. Or this is a 3 point question, so I'll probably, I reserve the right to give you as many points as I would like to make sure that the you get some sort of credit if you get at least close. So yes, this is the Hulk. Comic name, sometimes Incredible Hulk. That's the headline name, right?
Right.
And then number five, real name. Most comic characters also have a real name. If they don't, or if the real name and the code name are the same, we'll have the conversation as we get to certain characters that may cross over with that and figure out the points there. But real name here, Gavin.
Is Bruce Banner.
Yep. Bruce Banner. I think officially Bruce David Banner. I can't remember if that came. I know in the TV show he was David Banner for some reason instead of Bruce Banner. But
Hmm.
yes, Bruce Banner. So that is 10 for 10. Or apologies, not 10. Uh, yeah, 10. Yeah,
Yeah,
10 for 10 on.
good
Yeah,
stuff.
sorry. I am. Yeah,
At least for this first easy one, we know it's gonna get rougher.
yeah, yeah, it's gonna get a little rougher. Sorry. Math actually is a strong suit of mine, so we'll get into that. But yeah, 10 for 10. I'm gonna kind of keep a running score. In the future, plans are not to have that easy of ones, unless I'm doing it as a gag, as a surprise, or unless the score is so bad that I take pity on poor Gavin here. All right, so 10 out of 10. We're gonna do five of these at a time. So five per episode. We're gonna jump just right into the second one here. So we have this guy, and I'm gonna kind of have them as I've displayed them, so that I can easily put them back up. Um, they can be a painted display. So, Gavin, I know you can see on your screen there. Uh, First, is this a main continuity or not?
Hmm. That pizza shaped thing is throwing me off. I'm
Yeah,
going
this is
to
actually
say,
the mold comes from they called it the Pizza Spider-Man. It came with a slice of pizza. The first time they did this mold, and they've reused it now for lots of different versions of Spider-Man. And yeah, I dig the black and white pizza.
yeah. Uh, because of that, I'm gonna say that can't be of this earth. I'm gonna say that's not main continuity. Just as a guess, yeah.
So this one I would have given you actually points either way. I believe when this particular version of the suit was introduced, it was the main continuity Spider-Man, but he's going into the negative zone, but the negative zone has also been kind of different.
Okay,
I
okay.
think that yeah, it's
That
comics.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so that one kind of free point. So one for one here. Um, are we
Nice.
talking hero or villain?
I'm hoping he's still a hero. I'm going with.
Yep. In this iteration, he is still a hero. This is well, I won't go any further into it. So as to not spoil anything. So affiliation,
Affiliation should be the Spider Verse. That is
right?
yes.
So yep, 4 out of 4. Spider Verse is usually pretty easy for the good guys because they have spiders on them for the most part.
Yeah.
Um, Code name. So this one, I'll let you just take it away.
Yeah. And yeah, he's black and white. I'm just gonna go with he's like um. Oh yeah, I would say mimic Spidey. Sure. Yeah.
So I'll give you a point there. We'll go five for seven. So his this is actually uh, moniker generally described as Negative Zone Spider-Man. Although I don't think his code name I don't think you would actually say his code name ever changes. So I'll give you a point for the Spidey part there.
Okay. Okay, but yeah, you had mentioned the negative zone, so glad I didn't go with that. All right.
Last one, real name.
All right. The real name. Oh, I guess I would still just pretty much go with Peter Parker. I'm not gonna. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we'll call it 8 out of 10. So 18 out of 20 right now. And yeah, this guy really is just the 616 Spider-Man going into the negative zone for the most part. I suspect
Right.
that he probably has shown up in the background of Spider-Verse comics. At times, they like to kind of throw old costumes. I know that there's another character that was technically 616 Spider-Man, and then there's at least a couple other characters I know of that were like that. But then they threw them into the background of the Spider-Verse with the explanation as, well, in this universe, he never switched back to his regular costume. He always stuck with whatever happened to him in that situation. Um, and actually, in the Spider-Man video game, they did a Negative Zone version of the costume based on Mister Negative, who is a whole different Spidey villain character. All right, so our next candidate, and as you can see here, he does not have as many glam shots because he is what is referred to by Hasbro as a build-a-figure. Um, so I don't know if you guys can see, lighting's not great on him, but he is what's referred to as a build-a-figure, and that means that all of his parts came with different figures in order to come up with this guy. And so as you can see here, he as the actual figure has two different head options, two different arms for each arm, and just basic legs and everything. So, all right. Main continuity or alternate?
I would say this is main continuity.
He is. He is main continuity. Um, hero or villain?
This guy looks like a villain.
Yep. Two for two. He is a villain. Now, this one might be a little trickier. It's not real. It's not immediately obvious. So, what is his general affiliation? I'll take I'll
Right.
take one of two answers here. Actually, either
Hmm.
one of two different answers.
See, and because he almost looks like a goblin, like, I'm not gonna say like the hobgoblin or green goblin, but no, I'm gonna say he's more in the um, I'm gonna say he's a villain in like would it be X-Men? All right, I'll say I'll probably Avengers. I'll go with Avengers because I'm sure Avengers will cover more.
No, so he is the two answers I would have accepted. Although I think he has most likely fought the Avengers.
So,
Well, I know he for sure has fought the Avengers at one point. Uh, the two I would have accepted. His main affiliation is either with Fantastic Four or with the Cosmic, because there was a cosmic story where he actually was considered a hero in at least one cosmic story. So he is not of this earth.
gotcha.
And speaking of that, what is his code name?
All right, I'm gonna say it is the the Green Martian. Super
No,
generic.
so this is so we're still at I think two out of seven now. This is Super Scroll. Super Scroll.
Ooh, and
So he is a scroll, and if you're familiar with scrolls in the Marvel universe, they are shape-shifting aliens. They have shown up now in the MCU. He has not shown up in the MCU at all, but the scrolls are generally bad guys in the comics most of the time. But I think, and right now in the MCU, they've been helping Nick Fury. The Yeah, we'll see how that works out. Secret Invasion TV series is coming at some point, and that storyline is all about scrolls. taking the place of actual heroes, Earth heroes, using their shape shifting abilities. So I actually don't think Super Scroll here. I don't know if he can do full shape shifting, but if you notice, he is Fantastic Four affiliated, and he has essentially all of the abilities of the Fantastic Four. Um, Rumor has it
Ah.
he is used in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and the rumor is that they didn't want to waste four different slots for Fantastic Four, and he had already kind of been used before, so had been talked about already. So they went ahead and just used him because he had all of the different powers of the Fantastic Four in the video game. So a little bit of video game trivia there. All right. This is going to be pretty difficult, seeing as how he is an alien. So, any guesses on real name?
Um, yeah, hopefully it's, I know, still two names. If it's an alien one, yeah, I don't have any good ones. I'll go with,
All right.
Cole Drago.
So his real name is, and I'm not sure how to pronounce this, but it's Clert, I think. It's KL apostrophe RT, and he has also used some human names, uh, different times, like while being in disguise. So, uh, but none of those. I don't know if any of those are really official enough that even if you had got them,
If it would have
worth the
counted.
points.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll go 2 out of 10 here. So that it brings us up to 20 out of 30. And this one, she came in a 2 pack. So we are focusing on the woman on the, I believe, the right of your screen,
Yes.
and she is right here. Um, so main continuity or alternate continuity?
I will say this is main continuity.
It is. It is main continuity. This is a different costume than I would say her traditional one or her most common costume, but it is still main continuity. Um, is she a hero or a villain, Gavin?
Um, she's in the official suit, so I hope she's a hero. Hope they don't let anyone into those.
So she is a hero. Although I will say there's been some times where she's been on the villain side a few different times. Uh, we'll get into this. I'll get into this a little bit more, but her parentage has something to do with that. Um, Affiliation.
Gonna go with X-Men here.
Yeah, so she is an X-Men, and she actually was not one of the original five, but she was one of the next two that joined, depending on kind of who you ask. Um, and her former beau is the one on the left-hand side here. So they joined at the same time. Actually, so they were one of the few X-Men that were prior to the Giant Size X-Men relaunch. Um, and this is her in her X Factor uniform, which was a government sponsored team of mutants in the 90s. All right. Code name. Any guesses on code name?
Well, I do wonder if I have heard this name before because they certainly don't look familiar. I'm just gonna guess her name's like Spore, based on the green stuff around. But yeah, that's all I got. I haven't heard of an
Yeah.
X-Men called that, but yeah.
So her code name is actually Polaris, and that is I will explain that after the last question here, because I don't want to give you any hints that may not actually be hints. And so she is again has been a part of the X Men for a long time. She's been kind of on both sides at a little bit, but mostly been a hero. And her boyfriend, I will save information on for a later date in case we end up using him. Um, I will say they are not currently dating in the comics. So, what is her real name?
And this would be a pretty random guess too. So I'll say she is Sydney Sanders. I don't know.
Oh, her name is actually Lorna Dane. So she has a significant role in the. If you ever watched the Gifted TV show, uh, a version of Lorna Dane shows up in that. Her father has pretty substantial magnetic powers, Magneto, and she is the only one of his children to directly inherit those powers. Although technically, I think in the comics right now, she is his only official living child. Um, and she also has magnetic powers. It was not it was not originally known that she was Magneto's daughter. I think that was a retcon later. But yep, her powers are rival his, and actually, she is on part of the new Krakoan X Men team. So she is part of the X Men team uh, that was elected from the mutant nation of Krakoa in the comics lately. So we are at 24 out of 40. I got 4 points there. Honestly, I think for your level of knowledge, 4 points on one of these characters is pretty good, pretty solid score. If we're being completely honest, I would say without having without having the much knowledge of the characters, yeah, 4 points is pretty solid. So all right, so we have this guy,
Man,
uh, main continuity or no?
I will say no, just 'cause.
He actually is main continuity, so 0 for 1 on that one. Hero or villain?
All right, with that smirk, he's got to be a villain.
Say his smirk or my smirk? Yeah, he's a villain. He's a villain. So we got 1 point out of two. Um, affiliation. So we're looking for who's generally his foes.
Hmm. Um, I want to say it wouldn't be Spiderman. All right, I'll tell you it's just Avengers. I'll go Avengers for this one. Yeah.
Yep. He is an Avengers villain. So we are at 3 out of 4. And any guesses on a code name? This is one that I will tell you has some the you know if you were to look at his costume and uh look at him, there's a small possibility that you could figure it out based on that. So there's a clue
I mean,
that's a part of his costume suit set here.
I don't assume Red Skull has a brother or anything.
No, although
Um,
he actually is the brother of a um he is the brother of another Marvel character.
okay, okay. Um, but yeah, do I have any good guesses? Like what I've heard of this guy before? I'll just say, um, I mean, the Punisher's a real guy. He's like a hero, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have any good guesses either.
Okay, so you know what this do you know what this part is here, Gavin?
Scythe thing?
Yeah,
Or,
you know what they usually who
oh,
carries a
Reapers?
yeah. So he is actually goes by the Grim Reaper. Um, is his
Wow.
yep
Okay.
yep.
Okay.
It's sometimes it's right there in the uniform. Sometimes it's not at all. So uh, now he is the brother of a character that you also most likely have not heard much about. So any guesses on his real name?
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I guess that probably wouldn't help. I mean, I know if Grim Reaper, there'd be something else that ties in close, but no. Johnny, maybe if, could I guess at a good last name? No, Johnny Smith. I don't got nothing.
I mean, if you just went with different common names, you might have had something there. His name is Eric Williams. He is the brother of Simon Williams, who becomes Wonder Man, and is an Avenger. Wonder Man is an Avenger. He has not appeared in the MCU. He hasn't really appeared much in anything. He's not really a majorly popular character. But yeah, his brother, the brother here, Eric Williams, Grim Reaper, has been a somewhat significant Avengers villain off and on throughout the years. Mostly kind of a henchman. He has worked for Red Skull and Hydra at times. Um, and yeah, so he's been around. He's been around the block. So we ended up, I think, let's see, we had three from this round. Uh, so we ended up at 27 out of 50, which I'm gonna go with as a solid score for today. So
Absolutely.
I don't know about you guys watching. I know Gavin and I have a lot of fun with this. To let you in on the behind the scenes, this is actually the second time we recorded the first episode of Guess the Marvel Legends, due to a technical error.
Right.
So this is a series that we are going to continue, and I do have enough legends that I think we can use in hand legends for most of our guys. If we ever run out, if we feel like we need to pull from uh, a wider variety, I will just pull up images, and we'll use the images for the screen, and hope that that is enough. So thank you for watching today, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. If not, come back and give us another shot, I guess. I don't really know.
That's the
But
spirit.
yeah, we will have more videos for you coming soon, and we'll try to do one of these probably about once a month or so. With the Guess the Marvel Legends, I feel like it's going to be a good second series of videos for the Story Arcs channel. So thank you again, and we will see you later.
Thanks.